10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
H4, D6, H5, E5, D4, Knight F6, D takes E5, D takes E5, Queen takes D8 check, King takes D8, Knight F3, E4, Knight E5, King E7, Knight takes F7, King takes F7, Knight C3. D4, D6, E3, G6, F4, Bishop G7, Knight F3, Knight F6, Bishop D3, Short Castle, Short Castle, Rook E8, H3, Knight BD7, C4, Knight B6, C5, C6, C takes B6, A takes B6, Knight C3, C5, D takes C5, B takes C5, Bishop D2, D5, Bishop E2, E5, F takes E5, Knight E4, Knight takes E4, D takes E4, Bishop C3, E takes F3, Bishop takes F3, Queen E7, Queen C2, Bishop E6, Rook A D1, Rook A D8, Bishop E4. D3, D6, D4, E5, Knight F3, E takes D4, Knight takes D4, Knight F6, Knight C6, Bishop E7, Knight takes D8, King takes D8, Bishop G5, King E8, Bishop takes F6, G takes F6. D4. Knight F6. E3. G6. F4. Bishop G7. Knight F3. Short castle. Bishop E2. D6. H3. Knight BD7. Short castle. C5. Knight C3. C takes D4. B3. D6. Bishop B2. E5. D3. Knight F6. F3. Bishop E7. E4. Short castle. Knight E2. Bishop E6. G3. Knight C6. Bishop G2. Queen D7. Short castle. A6. D4. E takes D4. Knight D2. D5. Knight C4. D takes C4. D4. Knight C6. E3. Knight takes D4. F4. Knight takes C2 check. Queen takes C2. D5. Knight F3. Bishop G4. Knight D4. Bishop F5. Knight takes F5. E6. Knight D4. Bishop B4 check. E3. D6. Bishop E2. E5. Bishop H5. Knight F6. Bishop takes F7 check. King takes F7. Knight E2. Queen E7. Short castle. Bishop E6. F4. Knight C6. D4. E takes D4. E takes D4. D5. Knight BC3. Queen D7. D4. C6. E3. D5. F4. E6. Knight F3. Knight D7. Bishop D3. B5. C4. Bishop A6. C takes B5. C takes B5. Knight C3. E5. D takes E5. F6. E takes F6. Knight D takes F6. D4. Knight F6. E3. G6. F4. Bishop G7. Knight F3. Short castle. Bishop D3. D6. Short castle. Knight BD7. H3. C5. C4. C takes D4. E takes D4. B6. C5. Bishop B7. C takes D6. Knight C3. D6. Knight B5. A6. Knight takes C7 check. Queen takes C7. c4, e5, d4, e takes d4, e4, knight f6, bishop d3, bishop e7, f4, short castle, e5, d4, d5, e3, knight c6, f4, knight f6, knight f3, bishop f5, bishop d3, e6, bishop takes f5, bishop d6, h3, e takes f5, e4, short castle, e takes d5, d4, e5, e3, e takes d4, e takes d4, knight f6, knight f3, bishop b4 check, c3, queen e7 check, bishop e2, bishop d6, short castle, rook e1, rook e8, bishop e3, queen f8, knight bd2, knight c6, knight b3, knight e7, e4, d6, d4, e5, d5, c6, knight c3, c takes d5, e takes d5, knight f6, f3, bishop e7, bishop e3, short castle, queen d2, bishop d7, king d1, bishop e8, e4, d6, bishop c4, e5, knight f3, queen e7, knight takes e5, d takes e5, short castle, knight c6, d4, e takes d4, c3, d takes c3, knight takes c3, bishop e6, e4, knight f6, e3, g6, f4, bishop g7, knight f3, short castle, bishop d3, knight e8, h3, knight f6, short castle, e5, d takes e5, knight d5, e4, knight b4, e4, d6, knight f3, e5, knight c3, knight f6, bishop c4, bishop e7, short castle, d3, bishop e6, rook e1, bishop takes c4, bishop e3, bishop takes d3, c takes d3, knight c6, e4, knight f6, e3, g6, f4, bishop g7, knight f3, short castle, bishop d3, knight e8, h3, Knight f6. Short castle. Knight e8. c4. d5. C takes d5. f5. g3. d6. Bishop g2. e5. e4. Knight f6. d3. Bishop e7. h4. Short castle. h5. Bishop e6. h6. g6. g4. Knight c6. g5. Knight e8. Bishop f4. d4. d5. e3. Queen d6. f4. Queen b4 check. c3. Queen d6. Knight f3. e6. Bishop e2. Bishop e7. Short castle. h5. h3. Rook h6. Knight bd2. Rook g6. Knight b3. e5. F takes e5. Bishop takes h3. d4. d6. e3. e5. Bishop e2. E takes d4. E takes d4. Knight f6. Knight f3. Bishop e7. Short castle. Short castle. Rook e1. c5. c4. C takes d4. Knight c3. d4. Knight f6. e3. Knight e4. f4. Knight f2. King takes f2. e6. Knight f3. Bishop e7. g3. Bishop h4. G takes h4. Queen e7. Bishop g2. d5. Queen d3. Bishop d7. e4. Knight c6. e4. d6. Knight f3. e5. Knight c3. Knight f6. Bishop c4. Bishop e7. Short castle. Short castle. d3. Bishop e6. Rook e1. Bishop takes c4. Bishop e3. Bishop takes d3. C takes d3. Knight c6. Queen d2. d5. c4. d6. d4. e5. Queen a4 check. c6. Queen takes c6 check. Knight takes c6. D takes e5. D takes e5. e3. Knight f6. f4. Bishop d6. F takes e5. Bishop takes e5. e4. Bishop takes b2. c5. Bishop takes a1. Bishop g5. d4. e6. e3. Bishop b4 check. c3. Bishop takes c3 check. B takes c3. Knight f6. f4. Short castle. Knight f3. d5. Bishop e2. e5. Short castle. E takes f4. E takes f4. Queen e8. Rook e1. Bishop g4. h3. Queen d7. g3. d6. Knight f3. e5. Bishop g2. e4. Bishop h3. E takes f3. Bishop d7 check. Bishop takes d7. E takes f3. Knight c6. Queen e2 check. Bishop e7. d3. e3. d6. Knight f3. e5. Bishop e2. e4. Short castle. E takes f3. Bishop takes f3. Knight f6. Bishop e2. c6. Bishop c4. d5. Queen f3. D takes c4. Queen e2. Bishop d6. Queen takes c4. Short castle. Queen e2. Bishop e6. f4. Bishop takes f4. d4. Bishop takes e3 check. d4. d5. e3. c6. f4. Bishop d7. Knight f3. Bishop e6. Bishop d3. Bishop f5. Short castle. Bishop g4. h3. Bishop takes f3. Queen takes f3. Queen d7. f5. Queen c7. f6. Queen d7. F takes g7. Bishop takes g7. f3. d6. e4. e5. g3. Knight f6. h3. Bishop e7. g4. Short castle. f4. Bishop e6. f5. Bishop d7. Knight f3. d5. d3. D takes e4. Bishop e3. E takes f3. Knight c3. e4. Queen d2. E takes d3. Queen f2. D takes c2. Rook c1. Knight c3. d6. d3. e5. Knight e4. Knight f6. Knight g5. h6. Knight takes f7. King takes f7. c3. Bishop e7. f4. E takes f4. Knight f3. Rook f8. D4, D6, E3, E6, F4, D5, Knight F3, Knight C6, Bishop D3, Bishop D7, H3, Knight F6, Short Castle, Bishop B4, C3, Bishop D6, C4, Knight E4, C takes D5, D4, D5, E3, Knight C6, F4, Bishop F5, Knight F3, Bishop takes C2, Queen takes C2, Knight takes D4, E takes D4, E6, Bishop D3, Bishop B4 check, Knight BD2, Knight F6, A3, Knight E4, A takes B4, Knight takes D2, Bishop takes D2, Short Castle, E3, D6, Knight F3, E5, Bishop E2, Knight F6, Knight takes E5, D takes E5, Short Castle, Bishop D6, F4, Short Castle, F takes E5, Bishop takes E5, D4, Bishop D6, Bishop F3, C5, Knight C3,